So yeah, let's play some Monster Train. Today's daily challenge looks quite challenging. Hi Duke, welcome. It's mostly today's daily challenge looks quite challenging, and that's mostly because of the mutator small hands, -2 cards per turn. That is huge. It's like losing 2 boss relics. And makes the start especially quite difficult. We have Wurmkin and Stygian Guard with Echo Ride as our champion and Frozen Lands from the Stygian. We have Buying Power, merchants provide a card duplication service, and Spell Piercer, your spells gain piercing, which is quite useful on Stygian Guard especially. And Buying Power can be used to generate a lot of shards to reach potentially really high shard counts if you just use your money to dupe shard infused cards. So yeah, the scores are actually quite high. Alice here with 84k. That is a very impressive score. And let's jump in and see if we can match that. Bounding Echoes and Soul Siphon, huh? That's a lot of candy generation. We also have Flash Freeze. But our opponent is gonna be Seraph the Chased, so we're probably not gonna rely too much on Frostbite to kill them. Fell with Rage, Daedalus with double explosives. Sure. We do have a few consume cards already. So that is nice. Can be very useful with Echo Ride. Let's take a look at these relics. Whew. Totem Fragment. That is a really powerful relic. The only problem with it is it's not that good at scoring. The major problem is that you don't want your enemies, or at least the boss, to get to the floor below the pyre room. I'm gonna go with check strips actually. Let's take a look at the Divine Horde next. Oh my. I think we have to, right? We do need to get our drawback. And this is actually pretty hard to take with reduced draw. But I kinda wanna do it. Let's do a Volatile Gorge run. We will definitely have trouble early on. Let's go Echo Ride. I think that gives us the best chance to deal with the early game effectively. Markov Invasion is basically free because we have check strips. It just denies us the setup on the higher floor sometimes, which certainly can be an issue. Echo Ride double Flash Freeze would kill the Clergyman. Other options. We could set up on the top. Use Echo Ride, Bounding Echoes, Flash Freeze to hopefully hatch that egg pretty soon. If we set up on the bottom, we kind of have to double Flash Freeze this Clergyman, but it opens up to better scoring. While if we set up on a higher floor, we wouldn't have to worry about these guys as much. Maybe the middle floor is where we want to go. Kinda wanted to Flash Freeze this Clergyman, but just a simple Lance will do it. Frozen Lance. We definitely play that. Sure, let's get the Ember Drain. The egg will hatch, so we will only have one Ember Drain to deal with. Let's get some candy. Set up a train steward on the bottom floor, maybe. It does something useful. Doesn't seem to be the case. But we can at least kill the clergyman here. And then next turn we gain as much candy as we can on this floor. Which is actually quite a bit. Not that we really need it. These guys are already strong enough on their own. Echo Snare with Infusion. Probably not. Shelter. Bit more attractive. With the candy generation we have, it is another consume spell as well. Hosting Kin, certainly not. Do I take a shelter? I don't think so. Helical Crystallis or Titan's Gratitude? Either one could be really good. I'm gonna go with the Crystallis here. What do we want? Wurmkin units are usually relatively expensive, so that can be, it can be nice to reduce that downside of them with the Volatile Gorge, or circumvent it rather. We have a decent amount of gold. Let's see what's in the shop. Quick. Glare Minder, please. That is not a Glare Minder. Keeper of Echoes. I could see that. Let's go with it. We don't want that to be quick though. Reroll? What do we want on our Keeper? Maybe I want a Runestone. Make it our tank. I could see that working out. I could also just go with this. Have an individually strong unit that needs some scaling to actually matter. The Inspire alone is not gonna give it enough power to deal with like frontliners and stuff. But if we pick up Echoes of the Past, maybe, or Echo Infusion, Echo Transfer, which one of the two is the attack one? I think it's Echo Transfer actually. Echo Infusion is the health one, I think. An Echo Transfer would be really good, but we only have one chance to find it. There are not really enough attack buffs. I think we now need to find a different solution for our attack scaling than the Keeper of Echoes. But maybe we can just find a good essence that works. So I am gonna take the multi-strike here. Do we want to buy a Perch? I am okay with that. Buy a Perch on a Train Steward and then move on. We have relatively limited draw, so the removals actually matter to get to our important stuff more quickly. Well, I was hoping you would be cheaper than usual with the Volatile Gorge, at least sometimes. Not more expensive. I think we still set up on the bottom floor. Maybe the Keeper should have been in front. This is looking fine. Let's gain all the Inspired triggers we can. Egg is gonna hatch, so we have 2 Ember Drain to deal with. And then reduce the incoming damage with the helical. Nope, that's not what we do. Whoops. Was a bit too excited about my draw there. Yeah, actually you should be in front, right? We definitely played a Soul Siphon. That means we played a Bounding Echoes. And then the Keeper dies? No, the Keeper cannot be in front apparently. Ah. Yeah, we don't incant enough for that to work out. Let's get rid of this enemy. And hopefully get a few candy this turn. That should be enough. We need spell upgrades. We need to cost reduce a few things. Echo Infusion. Actually, Echo Transfer and Echo Infusion are pretty hard to use. I have another chance for a shelter. This one is infused, I will pick it. Crypt Builder easily. We can't get spell upgrades here. We could get a Stygian unit. So we could fuse something in the Divine Temple after Daedalus. The unit upgrades don't really benefit us, so I'm gonna go for the relic instead. Tethys Scale, Mind Horde. Both of these are pretty good. Mind Horde works well with Soul Siphon especially, but just in general pretty good thing to have. Tethys Scales also works really well with piercing and just the Stygian spells. I'm gonna go with the Tethys Scales here. Let's take a look at this one. That has to be Winged Steel, right? Could be Concussive Coals. Could actually be Concussive Coals. The extra draw is important. Yeah, Winged Steel is just too good. Oh, nice. We can... Oh yeah, I will take a Traitor's Quill, no problem. We can actually make use of the Pyre Health we are having here. Finally learned to do these things in the right order. This is a pretty decent starting turn. Egg in front. We can only kill one of these guys with the Echo Break. So we take 15. We definitely take energy now. And now we hatch the egg before it dies. That's the plan at least. Sadly, these guys don't get the armor. So our frontliner is pretty fragile right now. Not literally fragile, but pretty close to it. Do we have enough power? We do. Pretty easily, in fact. Well, this Bogfly has pretty good stats. Keeper of Echoes has quite a lot of armor on top of they're also pretty decent stats. But we need to get better scaling. Symphony of the Soul. That won't do much good. I don't think I can take Perfect Insanity. I don't think I can keep up with the extract cost. So I guess we go Wurmkin Etchings. I mean, we don't have to take anything there, but... if it weren't for the +1 capacity, I would easily pick this. Is there +1 capacity actually a problem? It is not, right? Is this better scaling than the Siren of the Sea, though? It's twice the effect, and it can trigger... it might just be better. There is also a silo fight. Spell weakness is certainly not out of the question for this run. I feel like it's a bit harder to pull off with the Volatile Gorge because most of the cards that apply spell weakness are usually pretty cheap. Actually, most of them are 0 cost, so you can easily play them, play a large spell right after it and stuff like that. That is gonna be harder with the Winged Steel. And as I said, I need some spell upgrades. I also need some pacting. Edge +5 attack. Is that even better scaling than the Shard Soul Carver? It might be, but not much. Skip. Let's engage in our first pact and sacrifice the Shard Soul Carver for the Keeper of Echoes. Let's see what our options are here. I think I want to go with the Shellsmith here, maybe. No. No, I kind of like the martial art too. What do we give Twinstone to? Crypt Builder, perhaps? We can trigger that with... we can trigger that with... discard later on, perhaps. Should have looked here first. We don't want that. We probably do want this. Cost reduction that now does not go on shelter anymore. If that was ever part of the plan in the first place. Does go on Helical. I think we should Search Stone the Frozen Lances. We also have the chance to duplicate a card here, but I don't really have anything I want to dupe right now. Cost reduction on a Flash Freeze. Magic power and consume on a Frozen Lance. And I don't really have anything I want to hold over at the moment. Let's move on. Spell Shield? Yeah, good luck with that. My spells are piercing. Set up the bottom floor. We have Bounding Echoes. So that means we play Echo Ride, Bounding Echoes. Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. We have to play Shard Soul Cover first. Now is there is a question of whether to play Bounding Echoes first or after we play our units. It triggers the edge, so it removes 2 shell, but playing it first gives us 2 candy. So that is better, because it also triggers the Inspire. Can we get the kill on you? 22, 23. No, we're 1 damage off. So I guess we frostbite the backliner, so we don't need to focus too much of our attention on them. Do wanna play Soul Siphon on the bottom. And then I guess it has to be wait. This is annoying. Maybe we are not a bottom floor setup here. Yeah, I think the problem is these Absolvers ruin our day with Volatile Gorge, so we really need to get through to the backline. There is no better play here. It's just a problem. Actually, that's not quite true. This is an option. It is a pretty bad option for later in the fight, because our tank is gonna be in the back. But maybe the egg is just tanky enough. Let's trigger all the Inspires we can. Throw out this spell. Take you out with a non-infused spell so that we can actually create another candy on the bottom floor. The egg absorbed a lot of damage right there. I like it. This is just shelter and nothing else, right? I mean, that's 20 armor for the whole floor. We don't need much more than that. You didn't get spell weakness. That means this is Bounding, Crypt Builder, and then Frozen Lands. We still need some way to discard the Crypt Builder. We can Inspire a bit here. And we should be more than strong enough to take on that boss. Just because I hate these guys, I want to kill them. Don't get me wrong, I don't like them. I don't hate them. Hate their design. But they can be very annoying enemies. But there need to be some annoying enemies, I suppose. None of these really... Or maybe I care about Total Recall a little bit. If we were more into Edge, I would. Is there something broken I can do with broken memories? I mean, I can get back Wurmkin etchings. Maybe I should have one of these. We're not up against Seraph the Patient, so we don't need the Unnamed Tome necessarily. There are some usages for it though. It's gonna be a bit costly sometimes. But I guess in those cases we can just keep it in hand unless we really need it. Sure. Hey, Mystery Machine, welcome! Yeah, Volatile Gorge with Wurmkin is pretty awkward. A lot of their cards don't use Ember as their primary cost. Instead they use candy in the form of extract. So yeah, they can certainly be awkward with Volatile Gorge, for sure. Extreme Stone on the Crypt Builder, that's exactly what I want. Let's also fuse 2 Train Stewards together, so we save ourselves a Purge and buy a Purge Stone. Frozen Lands probably worse than Echo Break because less flexible. Maybe before I cut the Echo Breaks, I think I cut the Flash Freezes. Permafrost could be good on the Soul Siphon. I will cost reduce the Wurmkin etchings. You know what I would quite like? If having Volatile Gorge would allow you to cost reduce 0 cost spells. I still don't quite see what to dupe. That goes on Shelter. No downside in this deck. Let's cost reduce one of the Echo Breaks. We're gonna keep some of them around. Like them, we now have pretty well upgraded spells. We still need a good way of playing the Crypt Builder though. Mark of Invasion. Sure, those will just die to check strips. This time around, things are gonna be a bit annoying because we have to prepare for stealth. We can take out a lot of these guys with spells. Play Keeper, play Echo Rite, and then Echo Break Frozen Lands, leaving us with 1 energy and 2 candy. Follow that up with a Shelter, gaining some armor. This Echo Break deals 11. Not quite enough to take out the backline, or 12, 13. We can't quite get there. I could delay the Shelter, but that won't help me either. I do want to be on the bottom floor. Even though it's pretty tough to be there with these guys running around. Ooh, we redrew into the frozen. Alright, the consume, I forgot. The quill saved us there. We don't need that right now, and it's very expensive. Wait, we should put something back that we want to play, but that is expensive, like an Echo Break. Because we might make it playable. I wish there was a better way to deal with that frontliner than Crypt Builder. But I guess that's a luxury problem. Because honestly, Crypt Builder is a pretty good way. This guy's gonna be annoying. We will have 2 Ember Drain next turn, so we might not be able to deal with them right away. Okay, this is a pretty decent hand. We don't need Unnamed Tome right now. And we do need to take out these guys, otherwise we're taking way too much damage. But we can do so pretty easily. We have to use the Helical though. Which I really wanted to use on that Overcharge tank, but I... right. That's a... yeah, I mean, that will do. So he dies to check strips. 2 more turns to build up armor. Sadly, Shelter is 3 cost here, but on the bright side, we drew into it decently early. Still worth playing, probably. But I'm gonna try and reroll it. We can we can only play it if it's 1 cost. That is not a good idea. I think this turn just has to happen like this. And now we want spells that are playable no matter what. Maybe play this Train Steward. And we already win. Especially after doing stuff like this. Ambient Charge, Broken Memories, Power of Knowledge. Power of Knowledge could become pretty sizable. But I feel like we already have better spells to achieve the same goal. Ice Storm. Is Guardian's Amulet something we're interested in? No, none of these. Removals, Merchant of Magic. Some good stuff over here. We can't engage Impacting. Oh, a Value Stone. That is actually pretty nice. Now if we only had some good targets for it. Yeah, that is the issue, right? Flash Freeze is actually pretty bad. I'm gonna purge that one. I wish I could Value Stone the Broken Memories. That would have been much more useful than just making sure that this card is always 0 cost, but that is a use, and maybe the best we are gonna get right now. Goodbye, Frozen Lancers. Not much left to do here. Gonna upgrade this Echo Break. It's not even worth a reroll. We are missing something. Did we turned down the Lightstone casing, which I now really regret. We could have had so many amazing spells. I could dupe a Shelter here. That would help with our defense, but I think our defense is already covered pretty well. We can always save money and dupe at the very end. Let us see. We do have a Crypt Builder that will just take out the Alabaster Guardian. Then what? Fail to kill the Clip Guardian. Playing the Crypt Builder also requires us to, well, forego most of the other cards in hand. Don't want to rely on that Crypt Builder. But maybe comes in handy. Echo Ride, Shard Soul card. Yeah. Yeah, that is a thing. Crypt Builder goes back. We play Shard Soul and Echo Ride. When you play any spell and get a Crypt Builder back. Boom. Why did a Crypt Builder cost 0? What made it cost 0? Volatile Gorge randomizes from 1 to 3. And the Crypt Builder doesn't have a cost reduction? I am confused. Just getting some consume triggers to get the Kinhost Pupa out and growing. The Soul Siphon is now pretty useless on the bottom floor, but that doesn't mean we can't use it on other floors. Like on the top. I should have used consuming bounding echoes beforehand though. Time to get this thing out. I guess we put that on Fel together with this. Gain 28 armor on everyone. Seems fine. Well, Crypt Builder will one-shot the frontliner anyway, so that works. This isn't really getting amazing scores, I don't think. But it seems to be quite consistent. Which is nice. But not a primary goal in a daily challenge necessarily. Again, a 0 cost Crypt Builder. Still don't quite know what cost is. I have no idea. If any of you has any idea why the crypt builders sometimes roll 0 cost, please tell me. As far as I'm aware, they shouldn't be able to. Unearthed remains might be okay. Might be okay. Is it though? Fine. I will take it. Not quite sure why. Doesn't really work that well with our strategy. And another draw. More draws means more chances to roll low costs. It's time to spend some money on some relics. Icicle Fracture, Conscription Notice, Sinner's Self. Who are we up against? Seraph the Chaste. There won't be very many Blights and Scorches left to deal with. But I'm still gonna take this. Mostly for the final fight. Echo Ceiling, Faulty Lola, and Hammered Chestplates. What do we want at this point? We don't have Extract, so Karuska wouldn't be helpful. Box Lime would be nice, the one that when you consume a card gain a candy. Echo Ceiling certainly is good. I'm not sure if we need Faulty Loader. Notice Stone? I guess. Bye, Flash Race. And I will also get one of the Bounding Echoes out of the deck. Sure, let's go Bog Deep. That provides us with some trample. Might be nice. Enemy unit center with armor 20. Okay. I do want to play this. Just not for 3. But maybe it's better to play for... No, we don't need to. Carver first. Echo right second. And then... build a crypt out of our enemies. I'd roll 3 cost again. To just consume this. That is actually interesting. I will now have a lot of 0 cost consume cards every turn. Let's make them infused as well. Don't really want to put anything back. This hand is pretty great. Very weird thing we have going there. But the Bog Deep Cocoon likes it. These cards I don't really care much about. This one? No. Not really either. We are slowing down our draw, but we are gaining a lot of edge triggers. Whatever that is worth. I want to silence you. Hmm. If I just had some way, some sort of some sort of an engine to draw cards. That would be nice. This bog deep cocoon is growing like crazy. As is our spell power, by the way. Any consuming card draw card, and we would immediately go off. Our bog deep cocoon was already was at almost 400 attack. The bog wormling. Force contamination could be a lot of damage with the bog wormling. I was really hoping for either gifts for a guard or the other one, the deep offering. Either one of those would have been great, especially deep offering. But looks like that is not available here. No, none of these matter. Koruska? Probably not. Serrated mandibles could matter though. Not so much for this boss fight. I don't think we take them. We double stack the force contamination. Not even a question. Cost reduction. It's useless on force contamination because of the double stack. Is there a... There's actually a citadel. Twin stone. Can we get a crazy flying boss kill with a force contamination with double stack and twin stone and a giant echo wormling? Or whatever it's called? Maybe. Now I take Koruska, because that is giving us quite a bit of energy back when we play the forced contamination. Unearthed remains. That might be useful now with the contamination, just for hoarding extra candy. I should probably also start duplicating some stuff to gain extra I will get a second one of these for sure. Don't really need consume removal. Sure. Then we dupe the crypt builder? No, the forced. My goal is just to slam the Seraph out of the air with a single hit of my bog wormling. I shouldn't get more of these. I will just get a second crypt builder. That's the most shards I can get. Let's hope this works. We can get a removal. On the consuming echo break. Those consuming is actually a decent problem, potentially. There is a lot of damage we have to deal with here. Let's see. This is not the turn for force contamination. Certainly not. This thing needs to be in the front now. Maybe I should have tubed the Wurmkin etchings, right? No, I do have 3 in the deck now. I don't need to do that anymore. And we just hatched this thing on turn 1. That is part 1 of our plan, to hatch this monstrosity, this powerhouse. And now we start building candy. Keep that on top of the deck. We now can do that by putting other cards on top instead. Okay. This is the turn where we go for the force contamination play. Just to do a little bit of damage to the Seraph. First I need to figure out who dies this turn from the enemies. Consume, consume, consume. We have... This will cost 1, then 2, so it's actually very expensive. We will not be killing the Gilded Wing before combat. So we put the melee weakness on the Gilded Wing. That's almost 2k damage on the Seraph. Then we try to buff up our Wurmling. We don't need much more than this. We can play 2 more consume spells. And that in fact will be the kill. It appears that dealing 12 times the damage of a giant hit results in an even more giant, crazy Seraph destroying hit. And I like it. That is very much what I wanted to do. Let's see. How can we hatch this egg real fast? We have broken memories. We can do a broken memory chain with the Echo Seedling, but these will always cost some member, unlike the other one. So I kinda wanna wait a turn. This has to be our setup. And we have to nuke these guys. Will that trigger? It will, because of the Keeper of Echoes. Then it's not worth playing. We know we can blow stuff up in a single turn if we have to. I really want to play Bounding Echoes this turn. Getting the infuse on the Wurmkin etchings is pretty important. Let's also make sure that we will have the candy for any shenanigans we plan to do with spell weakness next turn. Does cost 2, so we can play it twice. We might have to try and redraw it. And I feel like we have to do 2 turns of melee weakness stuff anyways. So we might as well go with the first run right now. I don't care about our defense. Our defense is just good enough, honestly. This is a good hand, but it lacks the melee weakness thing. Offering attuned piercing spell chain. This is the one we purged. Yep, we put that one back. We need a little more damage. I mean, we can do some decent damage with these crypt builders. Do I want to slow down my draw again? I think not. I think it's time that we speed our draw up. Get these forced contaminations going. Going wild. And let's blow you up with the power of melee weakness. 4,000 damage in a single attack. Seems good to me. Yeah. Melee weakness. Pretty useful effect, if you ask me. If you want to get some flying boss kills. Giant Worm, plus 18 melee weakness. Works. We didn't get the 80k. That was a crazy score. Despite having a lot of shards and 8 turn boss rush on Seraph and 5 turn at least on Divinity. Maybe I could have sped up Divinity by being on the top floor. I was a bit worried about my other units dying, but it wouldn't have mattered. The backliners didn't really need to be there. Well, the Echo Rite didn't really need to be there once the egg is hatched, so probably should have been on the top, could have sped this whole thing up by a turn or two. There was a chance. I'm pretty happy with how the Seraph fight went though. Yeah, the Force Contamination was really the turning point of the deck. It performed far better than I expected. But we also had a pretty crazy consume engine, so that has helped quite a bit. I want to take a look at Ali's deck. I could see a world where he found an infinite to get there. Let's see. Crypt Builder. In the Nexus Spike with spell power. That is a lot of damage. Silo fights with double stack, with multi-strike. Totem Fragment. Shard Soul Carver with First of Kin. Yeah, not bad. 4 Urchin Spikes with double stack and spell weakness. Also went with Volatile Gorge. Found Forever Flame. Ooh. Picked up energy and draw. That makes sense. Yeah, just spell weakness, nuke the enemies. That is a good strategy. 6-turn boss rush against Fel, 275 shards. 8-turn against the Divinity, that helps a lot. Spell weakness as opposed to melee weakness. Spell weakness is still a bit easier to use. Melee weakness, that guy had really required on the Bog Wurmling having trample. Oh, the 7-turn boss rush on Fel. That's also quite a bit of score they gained on us. Lightstone Casing, huh? With the double stacked holdover spellchain energy siphon. Expensive, but quite powerful. And especially the spellchain double stacked Urchin Spines. Wow. Another spell weakness deck. Using Ice Empire and some crazy crypt builders to achieve their goals. Yeah, not bad at all. The Chinese core that was here before was apparently removed. The clear time looked suspicious. 9-turn against Seraph. Urchin Spines, yep. Figured. I guess it's really good with the free dupes. Can just dupe the Urchin Spine a bunch. Looks like I'm really the odd one out there with the Force Contamination. Like, it's probably not that nobody else really picked the path I was going for, but maybe not too many other people really made it work. More spell weakness stuff, this time without the spell weakness spells though. Oh no, there are Urchin Spines. Yeah, spell weakness is pretty easy to get high scores on the daily challenge. Almost every time I do the daily challenge with Stygian, I think to myself, yeah, I mean, spell weakness could just easily get me a high score, but I go with another strategy anyways. Not sure why.